the out-of-state prisoners, was that $13 million above cost, or we got $13 million?
That was $13 million in revenue above cost.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you had mentioned the difference between state operations. Those states that are right to work, obviously, contracts still being the same. It's not like pay will go backwards, but I assume they have a lower year-over-year cost. Can you provide us the cost difference year-over-year of those operations between right-to-work states and non?
Yeah, I can get you some general costs based on the structure and that kind of stuff. Absolutely.
Fair enough.
I'm going to also add some of the issues some of the states have when their compensation for staff is significantly lower.
Got that too.
Just going to throw that in.
Yeah,
All right.
You weigh both sides, right?
Absolutely.
Yep. And kind of going back to the discussion we've been having, policy drives budgets. So if we didn't have a crimes code, we wouldn't have corrections. Nobody wants that, right? On the opposite side, we're discussing a lot of issues that have been driven for the years. And I think that's one of the reasons for criminal justice reform, trying to get it right, trying to get those individuals that are violent and harmful in society and putting them away versus necessarily nonviolent offenders that can be reformed and put back into society and being regular citizens like the rest of us. So we're trying to weigh that. And you can sense the frustration of when we set appropriations, we're seeing overages. You know, we have soft costs and we have hardened costs. We have discretionary pots of money and we have mandatory pots of money. Corrections, you fall under mandatory, right? From what we see, medical costs, medical inflation increases substantially. You brought up hepatitis C as one of them, and obviously there's a policy driving that. Quick search on Hep C treatments, and there's stuff that cures Hep C today. It's very expensive. Last article I saw, Harvoni is $94,500 for a 3-month.
Actually, our newest cost is down to $18,000.
$18,000?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not that that's not a lot of money, but, but it's down from $85,000 is what.
But at the same time, there's cost savings, correct? Because you're not necessarily doing other medical procedures, correct? So there's some offsetting costs? Yes, no?
No, I mean, not necessarily. It's not a straight line.
Okay. Was the Hep C treatment that was started, and I get there's some safety risks, right? Obviously, if a prisoner cuts himself, there's the safety concerns for your employees, other prisoners, and so forth, and you don't necessarily want an outbreak of Hep C throughout the prison population. Was there a court case or something that mandated that treatment?
Yes. There was a class action lawsuit, and actually, they're happening in every system.
Gotcha.
Right now, there's a big wave of Hep C lawsuits. Our settlement was unique in that we capped the number of treatment at 1,500 years specifically for budget purposes.
Okay. The others, the special pharmaceuticals, you used to be able to tap into, you cannot. What was the driver behind that?
My understanding is the DOH didn't have that excess amount of funding to be able to continue to provide us that $14.5 million we spoke of. We do have other SBP programs not involved with DOH. The hemophiliac contract, the Secretary mentioned, about $5 million, $1 million per patient. That is a 340B. And we also have a contract with Temple to provide us treatment and the medications for all of our HIV inmates. And that's a 340B. So we do see those savings. That's roughly about $3.7 million for the HIV, and probably I'd say about $500,000 for the hemophiliac contract.
What was more effective and lower cost, what you're currently doing or being involved in the special pharmaceutical program?
Being in the special pharmaceutical program anywhere we can. There's restrictions on that, though.
Is that our restrictions, federal restrictions?
Federal regulations on the program through HRSA.
Okay.
So.
All right. Thank you. There is also movement. I think it probably falls under cost savings, but I think counties are a little worried about it, and that is shifting costs back to counties on, I think, within parole for drug and alcohol. Can you discuss where that was developed and what you're seeing locally with that? Because we're hearing from, cost saving for us, pushing it down on locals, it's cost increase for them. So can you just walk us through that?
Yeah, and that was not our intent. What we did is send a clarifying memo that I poorly worded to say that, in general, our contracts are structured that the state's the payer of last resort. If someone's eligible for MA, especially for drug and alcohol treatment, they should bill that first and the state last. The memo was, again, poorly written. And generally, we work with the County Commissioners Association. In this case, I didn't do a good enough job with that. So we're doing a reset. And the timing is, part of what JRI does is it shifts a lot of the treatment burden to the community. So we're doing a reset. We're meeting with the County Commissioners Association along with Dept. And there'll be a new clarifying memo. Hopefully, I'll word it a little better this time. That goes out second week of March.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank
And
you.
I'll provide that to this committee because we've gotten that question from, if not most of you. So
Will do. Thank you.
we will clarify that.